Final Form over in St. John's is one of the newest retro game stores in Portland, Oregon, and it is really awesome. However, they do have some rather unique hours, so check out their website when they're opened and definitely head over there and check it out. Starting off with their NES games, I see Athena for $15 and Battle of Olympus for $20. The original Castlevania for $45. Everything Castlevania related has been going up as of late. Donkey Kong Classics for $25. That collection never came out in Japan, but both games did. The Guardian Legend for $25 and Gunsmoke for $25. Both great games. Journey to Silius for $60. A really great Sunsoft action game that was originally based on the Terminator. The Legend of Zelda for $40. That's getting up there a little bit. North and South, nothing like turning a bloody civil war into an NES game. Nintendo Tetris for $20. RC Pro-Am, I'm surprised to see them selling a rare game for $10. Roller Games, a roller derby game made by Konami. A small but spunky collection of Nintendo Switch games. A couple boxed Genesis games. A loose copy of Shining Force 2 for $50. That's a great game. Aladdin for the Genesis, one of the best 2D platformers for the Sega Genesis. Moving on to the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo Game Genie for $30. US Final Fantasy II for $70. Legend of the Mystical Ninja for $60, aka Guillemon. Moving on to the PlayStation 1. Alundra for $100, CIB. Bushido Blade for $40. I absolutely love that only semi-realistic sword fighting game. Pretty reasonable selection of Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation at rather reasonable prices. Final Fantasy Anthology for $35. That's one of my absolute favorite ways of playing the original two games. I just want to say that Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 look best on a CRT because of the background. Lethal Enforcers 1 and 2 for $80. I didn't even know that was released on the PlayStation. Suikoden for $60. Taking a better look at their Sega Genesis games. Taking another look at their NES games without the glass in the way. Adventure of Link for $35. They actually had a pretty decent selection of Sega Game Gear games, and one of these days I need to get into collecting Sega Game Gear before they blow up in price. Final Form isn't the biggest shop, but they have a pretty decent selection, and they make use of just almost every single inch that they have available to them. There is the Gyoman Gaiden games, a handful of OG Famicom games such as Fire Emblem, a Taxing Woman and Front Mission. You don't see that every day. VHS for all your analog recording needs. Moving on to their 3DS games, I see some Metroid and Pokemon games. Pretty decent selection of Game Boy Advance games, including Advance Wars and Final Fantasy IV. Dragon Quest and Pokemon on the Game Boy Color. The OG Xbox, it really feels like you're holding something. PlayStation 2, both fat and slim. GameCube. And moving down to the PlayStation's 2, SSX3, a Suikoden 3 for $50. Tekken 5, that's a great game. SSX on Tour, Sonic Heroes, $8. Wolfenstein, nothing like shooting Nazis. Metal Gear 2 and 3. Persona, I see Persona 4 back there. Kingdom Hearts, Killer 7. Guitar Hero rocks the 80s, never been on anything else. Fantasy, Grand Theft Auto, Grandia, and Gradius. I see Gradius Via back there. Alright, moving on to their collection of cool stuff that they have behind the counter. They have some loose GameCube games, some Scott Pilgrim stickers, Link in the Box for $200, Punch-Out!, Metal Storm for $130, Adventure Island 3, Famicom Mini collection of Zelda 1, Zelda-themed Phantom Hourglass DS, $400. The Legend of Zelda CDI games, you don't see that every day. Loose copy of Paper Mario, no box. Mischief Makers, Contra Collection, Super Nintendo Classic, and the Nintendo Classic. In the box, they have a selection of Retron products. They have this really cool NES in an arcade-style case. They also sell various adapter accessories and vinyl. They have a huge selection of video game soundtracks on vinyl if you are into that thing. Yep, video game soundtracks in vinyl. A Virtua Boy, $500. This is pretty much what the store looks like. It's really, really cool. Taking a look at their front case, some Nintendo 64, Revolt, Legend of Zelda on cartridge, Link to the Past, $45. NES Advantage, Open Nintendo Mini, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo Mini, Sega Genesis Mark II, $50. That's a great price. Xbox One, Blue Wii, 2DS, stickers, and quite the collection of controllers and accessories. All your various charging cables, both modern and old controllers, AV cables, Retron 5, Retron 3 HD, that's actually one of my favorite game systems. The Hyperkin mouse, Super Retron HD, more assorted goodness that they have on the wall. They have a loose copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, game soundtracks on vinyl. Some very expensive ones, too. Bare Knuckle 3 soundtrack on vinyl. Tony Hawk Underground 2 sampler soundtrack. Time Crisis 3 with GunCon. That cool NES arcade cabinet. Metal Storm for $130. Biomiracle Bukete Upa soundtrack. A Japanese pencil case for holding your 3DS. They also have VHS. They had a VHS rewinder and a CRT TV. They had glorious movies on VHS and actually had some VCRs. My first trip there, I got Shinobi for Sega Master System, and my second trip there, I got the VCR rewinder and Super Mario Big Band on CD, and TNC Surf Designs and MTV's Remote Control on NES. Final Form is one of the coolest retro video game stores in Portland, Oregon, and that is really saying something. Definitely get yourself over there and check it out. This is 8-Bit Joystick. Stay awesome, play retro.